this is what you'll be creating. You have a button, you click on it, it turns into ascending state with a loading spinner inside and the changing text. So let me show you how you can create this with Figma. So to create a loading button, you will need an ellipse. So let's change the size to 24. Let's change the color so that's easier to see. I'm going to change it to blue. And this is what I'm going to do. Let's zoom in a little bit. You see this arc over here? Click on it and just drag down. For this dot at the center, click on it, drag it in such a way that it becomes like this. Okay. And now all that I have to do is to just adjust the size of this, the length of this. You can adjust it to whatever size that you want. I leave it up to you, but the key idea is to leave a gap, right? So it's not really a full circle, but you can see that there's a gap here. Click on this and create component, zoom up a little bit and add variant. All right, let me just drag it here. For this copy, I will have to do a rotation on the ellipse itself. So make sure that you click on the variant and then you select the ellipse and do a rotation. Okay, so this is a rotation that we're looking at, and just give it a 90 degree. Now copy this variant, click on this variant and click on add variant. Let's drag it down here so that we can see everything. Same thing for variant 3. Make sure that you click on the ellipse and not the entire variant. Click on the ellipse. 90 degree plus 90 degree again. Click on variant 3 and click on add variant. Just drag it down here to organize it. For variant 4, select the ellipse. 180 degree plus 90 degree. Okay, great. Now here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna connect the default variant. Click on prototype, connect this to variant 2. And it's gonna be after delay, immediately change to variant 2. As for the animation, it's gonna be smart animate. Right, so for the time, instead of 800 milliseconds, I'm gonna change it to 1 millisecond. So for variant 2, I'm gonna connect it to variant 3. After delay, 1 milliseconds. Animation, make sure it's smart animate. For variant 3, connect it to variant 4. Same thing, after delay, 1 millisecond, smart animate as the animation. For variant 4, I'm gonna connect it to default variant. Okay, same thing, after delay, 1 millisecond, smart animate. Just to see that our spinner is actually working, I will be creating a frame. Okay, let me create a frame. And for this, instead of calling it ellipse, I'm just gonna call it spinner. Go to my assets and look for spinner. Oh, which one is it? Okay, maybe let me, because I've created a few spinner, let me just call it spinner for button. All right, just make it more explicit. Okay, I found it. I'm gonna drag it into the frame. For this frame, let me just change the name and call it showcase. Click on flow starting point, change it to showcase as the name, and I click on play. Oh, it looks a bit small, so let me just do a fill screen. You can see that the spinner, it's spinning correctly right now. So let me just go back. All right. So the next thing that we want to do is to create a button using this spinner. So let me just give it a button name. Let's call it sending. All right. Call it sending. Let me change this to 24px. So our button is gonna look like this when it sends. Oops, I think I shouldn't skip step. So I will select this spinner and this text, right click on it and do an auto layout, add auto layout. And I'm gonna give it a horizontal spacing of 16px and vertical spacing of 16px. Okay. As for the background, I'm gonna give it a light blue. For the border radius, let's give it an 8px. Okay, it looks a little bit weird, so maybe just make it a little bit lighter. Okay, for the background of the frame, I'm just gonna change it to black so that it's clear what we are doing. All right, so let's go back to showcase again. Okay, reloading. All right, you can see that the button looks something like this now. Okay, let's go back to the canvas, beautify it a little bit, give it a blue. Okay, so we have something like this now, right? The next thing that I want to do is to create a component out of this frame. Create component, add variant. Oops. For this button component set, I'm just gonna call it button sending. Right, for the first one, I'm gonna have to include an icon. So let me just find an icon. I'm gonna use iconify, and I'm gonna find send. I think this works out for me. No, maybe this is nicer. Okay, drag it in, change it to 24px by 24px, and let me drag it inside. Remove the spinner. For the word, instead of sending, I'm gonna change it to send, and I'm gonna make sure that the width of the button is the same as the button that is in the process of sending. For this, I'm gonna change it to blue as well. Oops. It looks a bit weird, but whatever, right? Just for demonstration purpose. Okay, I'm gonna delete the button in this frame, the showcase frame, and I'm gonna go to my assets and look for button sending. Drag it here, drag it inside my button sending component set. Let me click on this, click on prototype, linked it to the sending state. The interaction is going to be on click. When I click on this, it's going to change to this. All right. Okay, so right now I'm setting it as Smart Animate, and let's see what happens. Oh, it looks a little bit funny. Let me go back and start to change this to perhaps instant. Okay, let me click on this. Right, now it's sending. So that's how you go about creating a button with a spinner inside. If you'd like to see more of this kind of video, feel free to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.